screaming like dad. Oh! Royalty for your music? I don't think so. Look, we're just getting in the car now. Look, I hope that doesn't record the whole mini video in that mode. Hey, there you are. How was school?
Good.
The perspective of the camera is off a little bit. I don't know what's different. I had removed it for a second. Oh, you're out way early. Look, no cars. They got a McDonald's sticker on the back of their car. We used to put stickers on people's cars on over their license plates. They'd say things. Saskatchewan just got rid of. You remember when we talked about how some governments are trying to make it so that people have to get vaccinated if they don't want to, and if they don't want to, they're going to lose their job?
I don't remember talking about that.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Maybe I just talked with the other kids about it while you were sleeping over at your friend's house. But they had the government's trying to make it so that somebody will lose their job if they don't get vaccinated.
Oh.
Why are they letting all the buses in front of us? We got out before them. Why let any of the buses out? It's all your fault. If you were in the car 13 seconds more.
What?
3 cars. 1, 2, 3 cars, and we would have been out. Man, they need to make this exit. They need to make a dual exit, right? Cars turning right, cars turning left. Because all the cars that turn left stop this. The flow of traffic going out, right? Half these buses turn right. I don't believe this. They just let it in every single bus. Anyway, I was going to say about the vaccine mandate. Saskatchewan withdrew that. So there's no proof it's stopping so many people from getting it anyway. Right? It's not stopping the spread. It's not stopping anything. It's just like... So, they're stopping that. They've withdrew their thing. So that's good. That's what that whole protest in Ottawa was about. With all the truckers. Did you hear about that?
No. I don't read or watch the news at all.
Me neither! But I have watched the parliament sessions. I do watch when the government actually sits down and talks about stuff. That's really annoying, but aside from that, I don't watch the news. It's just what that's what most adults are talking about right now in my workplace. It's annoying. So what did you do in school today?
For art class.
Did you actually do something about art?
No. We had to research about an athlete or something.
For the
But
shoe
I
thing?
don't even know any athletes besides Terry Fox, the runner guy. Except someone else did that.
I'm an athlete that competes.
You say you're everything.
I'm not everything, but I am an athlete that competes at a relatively amateurish level.
What sport?
Medieval armed combat. Fighting with swords.
So I can make a sports shoe about you.
It would be a medieval boot. Leather shoes. No, you shouldn't.
So I think I just decided on this runner. I just searched up a runner, like the fastest runner, and then this random person came up.
Usain Bolt.
Yeah, that person.
That guy. That Jamaican. You know, I saw where he went to grade school. I was at his grade school in Jamaica. They had a nice little playground and a big field with like a soccer field where the track team was running. That's where he grew up racing.
And then I got information from that, but now I need to get pictures of like what team. But he's not even on. runs by himself.
He runs for Jamaica though.
Oh, okay, so then I should get
it's
like flag.
when he goes to the Olympics or wherever, he's sponsored by his country to bring national pride back to Mother Russia. Only it's not Russia. Jamaica. We have a bobsled team. You ever seen that movie Cool Runnings?
I think we watched it before.
Maybe part of it. Maybe the whole thing. The last time I went to Jamaica, it was playing on the tour bus. It was playing, and we watched the whole thing while we were driving to different places in Jamaica. John Candy, he's a funny comedian. He's dead now, but he was in that movie. Hugely popular. He's a monster of a personality. He was a overweight guy, but he was pretty funny. Very popular. Made lots of money. Yeah. My friend Scotty's going to be in Atlanta. Let's use friend as a loose term. This guy I know, who's my friend on Facebook, he's going to be in Atlanta doing comedy on the weekend. Atlanta is one of the 3 biggest places to do comedy. Do you know where the other 2 biggest places in the United States to do comedy are?
No.
New York.
Las Vegas.
Not Vegas. Vegas is like headliners of their perspective trades or their art. So like the best magicians will get a gig in Las Vegas. The best comedians will get a gig the best circuses will be in Las Vegas. The best, I don't know, you name the artistic representation. The best plays, they're gonna have a place you can see them there. The best singers is gonna have a show in Vegas. I think America's Got Talent used to put on a show with some talent agents there, right? So they say, "You're going to Vegas," right? That's like some of the hype. Isn't that part of the show? I don't watch it.
I don't know.
No, your mom watches it. What was I gonna say? Los Angeles? California. It's easy to say California. That's a whole state. LA. There's a lot of comedy clubs there. In Hamilton here, it's like different cities provide different types of creative cultivation, right? So if you get people like musicians that say they're from Toronto or like Niagara Falls or from Canada or Ontario or something, chances are they played in Hamilton because we've got 300 places downtown that are very supportive of developing people professionally by paying amateur musicians to sing and perform art for people that come to their restaurants or bars. We've got hundreds of them. Even like restaurants up here, up on the mountain here, there's dozens of places that people can get paid to play music, a whole band or just a musician with a guitar, right? So out of Hamilton, we get a heck of a lot more musicians come from Hamilton than pretty much anything else in terms of famous people, except for Jim Carrey. He was Burlington or Dundas or something. Part of Hamilton.
I learned that today.
What's that?
That those places that you said were a part of Hamilton. They weren't.
Yeah, Stony Creek, they were.
They weren't, and then they were.
Yes, and the city amalgamation started taking over some other cities. It's more efficient to have one city hall run a bunch of things because they can pool their resources.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a problem, not economically, but socially, with determining what's right for that group of people. So the bigger the group of people, the more they can be divided with what they want to argue about. That's why there's usually 2 or 3 major political parties in most countries because certain people think one way, other people think the other way, right? And in a group of, say, 200 people, you might only get a dozen or 2 dozen people thinking differently than the rest, right? In one small area. You go beyond that, let's say you got 1,000 people. Well, now maybe it's the other opinion. It's a different 1,000 people, so there might be more people that think the other way, right? And then you go up from there, you're talking millions of people. It might even out, like 50% of people think one way, 50% think another way. But in smaller groups, like a town, the town can get together and decide for themselves what they want to do. But now, say that what's right for that town that got taken over by a bigger city, now the city controls what the town does, and maybe what works in the city doesn't work in that small town, right? So there's always a benefit to it economically, because it's less to run the city, and pooling resources is a good thing, but deciding municipal laws and bylaws is not always, it doesn't always fit. No such thing as a cookie cutter municipal legislation. Pretty complicated sometimes. Like building permits. You know all that building permit issues we had to go through to get your windows? Yeah. So, because now Hamilton's taken over some other places, they have to follow those rules too. Whereas before, if you live on a farm, we just cut a hole in the wall and put a window in, right? An unorganized township is a small town that doesn't have a municipal government or bylaws for building. You can literally build any kind of structure you want. You want to build a CN tower on your property in an unregistered township or an unorganized township, you just go ahead and do it if you have the money. Right? So, but you can't do anything like that here. You can't even put the roof on your house without a permit now, it seems. It's so difficult. But, oh well. What were we talking about? How was your math today?
It was good because you teaching me actually learned a lot. Because I actually felt smart. And we were taking out the answers, and some people didn't even do their homework.
I told you it would be all right if we left one question done, but it's better we did. We took that break, where you made tea, and then we took another break to get cookies. And then you were like, oh, I can do all this. So now you're a smart kid in the class, eh? No more help with homework? Yeah, you do need help with homework?
Yeah? What do you mean?
You don't need any more help with homework? Did you get homework today?
Yes.
Oh, how much?
Not that much.
You know what I used to do? If I did homework, I would do it so quick because I can process numbers really quickly in my head.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's why I'm so bad at math. No, I'm just slow.
It's not a problem. It's really not a problem. Some people process numbers better than others. You're better at different things than I am. But mechanical stuff, easy. You're better at making friends than I am. I don't like anybody. It's like, but math. Like, give me some calculus. I'll work through it with you. But math was always really easy for my brain to just spit out the numbers. I would know answers and like next steps before I even understood what it was that my brain was telling me. I've always been like that. And I'm like, okay.
Calculator.
I never used a calculator for most stuff.
Wow. I
would check it with the calculator and then work through it. But sometimes I had to work backwards. It's like I can see, even especially with Bedminus, it was so easy for my brain to just see what the answer is, and then I had to have to work backwards to get the steps. I even got accused of being a cheater on one test, like the first test I had, because all I did was write the answers, and they're like, you have to write all the work so we know that's, you didn't just cheat or anything. I'm like, but I got the answers. And it was very frustrating for me because it was harder for me to figure out how to do the work than it was just to come up with an answer. And I wouldn't always be right on the answer. It's just that's my brain works that way. But the calculator helped with getting the steps, right? What we did yesterday. How to break down formulas. The only parking spot is next to the one that's got its horn going off? Okay, bye. Okay, bye.
Bye.